This is the insane rise of Central Cee, how he went from wavy rap to topping the UK charts, then invading the 2023 XXL freshman cover and the Billboard Hot 100, all in the span of 4 years. This is Dirty Culture, creating videos on great things happening in the culture and our thoughts on unanswered questions. I'm here to be corrected, so shout me. Let's have a conversation. Central Cee was born in 1998 and is from Shepherd's Bush, West London, an area in London where the rich are literally across the street from the poor.
I'm at my house and you can see some like real hood shit, and then you can turn right and then you can be like in Holland Park, which is gonna be like billion. You could go what's it called, Kensington High Street, and be on Billionaires Road, which is probably like the most expensive road in, I think, maybe in the world. Like, it's High Street Kensington. Like,
his parents separated when he was young. When he was with his dad, he would listen to his dad's hip hop, reggae and R&B.
My dad used to play a lot of music around me when we would be around him. My mum not so much. I didn't really grow, yeah. So there definitely was some musical influence though. West London as well, being the home of like Notting Hill Carnival. There's a lot. So like West London is like a very like ripe area for like music, and
maybe not much more than your average listener, but he also lived on the doorstep of culture. That being the Notting Hill Carnival, where he could take in music and culture in London. He started his own musical journey, recording music at 14, but was writing at a young age.
Making music, maybe it was like 14, like going to the studio and actually recording. I had been writing from younger than that, but I started recording like 14. And like 15, like I realized that it's a business and we can make money off of it, and I started seeing how you can distribute the music and whatever.
He created his name when he was young too, but that doesn't have a unique or special backstory.
I just say my name, Central Cee. The way I got my name, Central Cee, is kind of boring. Like there's no like cool backstory to it. It's not even cool. I just kind of made it up. I was super young though. If I had a chance, I'd probably like change my name, but everybody knows me now, so there's no going back.
At 15, he started developing the knowledge of the music business, spotting how he could make money, distributing and placing the music, and essentially setting himself up early to blow. One of his first features was on the Ain't or Nothing remix in 2015 at age 17. This was a song originally created by Young'un that was heating up the streets. It released in 2015. The version Central Cee was on was actually a remix that wasn't officially put together by Young'un, but was created when Young'un decided to put the instrumental out after Kreps suggested he do it. Central Cee was 17 at the time and his flow sounded hungry. This remix featured the likes of Bonkers, J Hus, Rico, Young Reeks, Hooligan, Bully and Shower Malik. He'd done a Street Heat freestyle released in February 2015. Street Heat being a freestyle series from Link Up TV, which featured loads of heavy hitters like Stormzy, Cadet, rest in peace, Miss Banks, J Hus, Tion Wayne and Young's Teflon. He was goal setting along the way, essentially giving himself challenges for each year in age, saying that if he didn't reach the milestones, he would give up.
Into myself like setting goals, like if I get to 17, or I'd probably say like if I get to 18 and I'm not where I want to be, then I'm just gonna call it a day, because I don't know, I just always knew I don't know, so I kept saying that I got to 18, but I'd get to 18 and I'd be somewhere better than last year, so I'd be like, alright, cool, I'm gonna just keep it going. Okay. Even though I'm not really where I want to be, I'm better than last year, so let me just keep it going.
2017, at 19, feeling like it was getting long, he had to make money elsewhere, getting a job and hustling while doing music on the side. He created a sold-out headline show by himself at Hoxton Bar and Kitchen, linking with other up-and-comers and heavy hitters you know now.
Shows. I started putting on my own headline shows. I done one in Hoxton Square Bar and Kitchen, like 300 people, but we just I done the venue myself. I rented the venue, I sold it out, and I made like a good few £1,000, which was a lot to me back then. But I still had a job on the side, and I was just hustling. I was doing everything that we could do. But yeah, there's always times there was a couple of times where I thought maybe it wasn't gonna work.
Central Cee seemed to be like a lot of talent back then, creating opportunities with what he had around him. The work weight was growing with each freestyle and appearance. Central Cee stayed consistent, releasing a single called Pull Up, from his first EP, 17, which has a music video. He released this in 2017, along with 2 other EPs, Nostalgia and CS Volume 1, which are now unavailable. You see, when you're navigating as an artist, your style will naturally weave in and out of the times and be inspired by who you mess with. The progression can lead you anywhere. You have to look at the work that was put into 3 bodies of work, several self-created shows, and getting put on platforms, either through links or the hustle. These aren't no flash in the pan moments, and as with anything, when you hit, you start doubling down on what works. In 2019, Central Cee was on Mixtape Madness's Next Up, throwing down the auto-tune wave rap styles and then switching up to straight bars in the second part of the freestyle. The responses in the comments were mixed, but people showed they were feeling the second part of the freestyle, where he went in with no auto-tune. The change in sound was kind of deliberate, but the change in instrumental was instrumental to the change in style or the removal of the auto-tune sound. The Day in the Life instrumental was a melodic drill beat, and he'd never done any drill beats prior to this, so when it dropped, he didn't know what to put out next, having songs in the cut, but nothing that would complement the Day in the Life drill sound.
Go with more of like a straight rapping style, and because that was kind of like the moment when your shit really started to blow up, right?
Yeah. Kinda, but like when I made that song Day in the Life, that was like my first like time jumping on a drill beat, yeah, if you wanna call it that. So that was like the first time I jumped on that type of beat. When I dropped that song, even I didn't have nothing to follow it up with. I didn't know what I was doing. I had a good feeling about the song, and I knew I could make more songs like it. I know I know I can jump on any kind of beat, really.
I think the current climate highlights a few things that are wrong in the game today regarding development. With oversaturation and quick TikTok hits, we are swerved away from artists building and working on their craft genuinely. Patience is key when you want to build something that lasts. Skin in the game is important. Yes, there are ways to figure it out if you drop a hit as a first song, but experience trumps that, because you can lose yourself in keeping the numbers high, especially if you sign to a label and they try to take hold of your direction and vision. There is a fine line that people will see you fall off of if you're not genuine, and that's what has tarnished the reputation of artists with quick hits. Central Cee met Ybeez, or Bello, in 2019, a year before dropping A Day in the Life in 2020. Bumping into him every now and then, with him telling him to keep at the music and take it serious.
Had you started to have like a manager or any kind of people behind you when these songs started popping off?
Yeah. I met my manager like a year before we dropped that song. And he hit me like...
Ybeez?
Yeah.
I heard that he was I heard from a friend of mine that he's like pretty respected and that they think he's kind of pretty integral in you being able to pull all this off. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, he is for sure. But it's like he's got a unique story as well. Like,
and although, as we have seen, Central Cee has a catalogue of music, he wasn't confident that the music was right. Maybe because the wavy sound was all over the UK, with pioneers like DBE and M Huncho taking the sound to the next level, that he had to wait before showing Ybeez any music.
But my manager, I met him like a year before we dropped that song, right? But I didn't have no music really, like at all. And I didn't know what I was doing. I was more so on the roads, and he was meeting me here and there, just trying to like encourage me to do music and take it more serious. But I didn't have like the right song. I was going to studio here and there, but I knew all of the music on my phone at the time wasn't right. So when I came with that song, came to him, I said, look, this is the one. He's like, you sure? I said, yeah, cool. I said, yeah, this is the one. Let's push it. I want you to help me work it.
He came to Ybeez with Day in the Life and said, this is the one. I have to note there that this was not only the birth of their sick partnership, but also the first time Central Cee highlighted his ear for a hit. They decided to trust each other, with Day in the Life being the first time they worked together. Ybeez wasn't skinning the game with artist management, but learned on the job extremely fast. Essentially, Ybeez was the missing part of the puzzle for Central Cee. What they began then has gone on to create history, with Central Cee stating that Ybeez is a genius, and vice versa. The major key is that Central Cee never limited himself. He never took on a path which saw him mimic someone else from the UK success in the industry. Let's be real, there's an automatic limitation put on artists in the scene, almost like they can't see any diversity. The start of Central Cee's insane rise came when he released Day in the Life. This was released the year of COVID and during lockdown in the UK. In fact, the release date of the video is actually a day after the non-essential shops were allowed to open. He quickly followed this up with a fresh cut called Molly, released on July the 26th, 2020. And then on October 22nd, he hit them with the viral hit Loading. All three were premiered on GRM Daily. All of this gearing up for the release of his debut mixtape Wild West. He dropped Commitment Issues on February the 11th, 2021, which got 1 million views on TikTok overnight when he dropped the snippet. Wild West was released on March 12, 2021. Seems like a while away, but it's only 3 years. The rollout was cold.
Marketing genius on top of the music stuff.
Yeah. maybe. I do like the business side of things. Like I do like the marketing side of things, maybe more so than the music sometimes. So maybe that explains why you see certain things going viral.
The collaboration with Trapstar was sick, and the key feature of Orange made the project stand out from the rest. The video for Loaded included an orange whip and a few orange highlights, which I think may have set the tone to expand on for the drop of the actual tape. The pop-ups, the merch, the cars in the following single 6 for 6 all tied in so well, and the execution was flawless. From riding a horse in town, linking with Trapstar, the perfect visuals, it was a rollout you couldn't miss on social media, as all orange squares or imagery were essentially Central Cee. The album got to number 2 in the album charts, and this was all done independently with just a distribution deal with ADA in place. Also, another big note was that the project had no features like someone else overseas who is praised for this feat. During the year, he won a GRM Rated Awards 2021 for Breakthrough Artist of the Year and Male Artist of the Year, and took home 2 Mobos for Best Drill Act and Best Newcomer.
Is Central Cee!
Hard. Say it's only right, really and truly, though. Eh? Oh, man. You know, I'm not really a newcomer, though. But I'm accept it nevertheless.
You have to realise that if he didn't have much drill tracks loaded, he worked extremely hard between the drop of Day in the Life to produce a tape in 12 months' time and put all of that marketing work in. The following year, he kept the colour momentum going with the 23 mixtape and the Yellow campaign, doing another collaboration with Trapstar and dropping the Pink Panther sampled single Obsessed With You on September the 10th, 2021. The single actually peaked at number 4 on the singles charts. He followed up with 3 more singles: Retail Therapy, which dropped in at 21, Cold Shoulder, which dropped in at 25, and Khabib, which dropped in at 22, before he dropped the 23 mixtape on February 25th, 2022. This went on to top the UK album charts at number 1. Now, I might be harsh and maybe I need to be schooled a little more, but I can only see a handful of artists who can craft meaningful rollouts like this and have great success. Yes, the proof is in the pudding. You need both talent and amazing marketing to create success. You need to work on your craft and understand yourself as well as the business of yourself. Central Cee took it upon himself to study the game as well as hone his skills in the booth, knowing from early what it takes to succeed and building an idea library along the way. Brian B. Miller of the Rap Radar podcast stated this month on Angela Yee's show, Way Up.
To talk about Central Cee.
Yes.
Central Cee has 2 new singles out today. Well, he has the Billion Streams freestyle
Yep.
and Boldy Noir.
Yeah, man. The second one, Bowling Noir, is in French, but Cinch kills it. But also the Billion Streams freestyle. He's been killing it all year as well. Like, I think that Central Cee is the best new rapper to emerge in hip hop in the last 5 years. I'm going on the record saying that. If you're not a fan,
And where's he from?
he's from the UK.
Yep.
He's from the UK.
All right.
America's got to step it up.
I have to say, he's not far off or basically hitting a mark. You could argue 4 years rather than 5, but 5 is a nice round number. He has been consistent since the drop of Wild West and has been a part of culture heavily since then. He doesn't do much press or interviews as such at all, but doesn't need to, as the music and brand deals clothing line and the social media presence has worked for him. Going back, in 2022 the grind didn't stop for Central Cee as he flew to LA on a promotional run and dropped a sick LA Leakers freestyle, giving the US a taste of what's to come before dropping Doja, a song previewed at Wireless Festival, before dropping the Cole Bennett Lyrical Lemonade visuals on July the 21st. It became his highest charted song in the UK at number 2. Dropped a surprise EP in October called No More Leaks with a visual assisted single, One Up, which charted at 17. And also in 2022 he became the first rapper to get 1 billion streams on Spotify. Then in 2023 he made history. Him and Dave dropped a joint surprise EP, Split Decision, and their lead single Sprinter became Central Cee's first UK #1 single, breaking the record for the longest standing UK rap single at #1 and the biggest streaming week for a UK rap song. He is the first British male rapper on the XXL Freshman cover and hit the Billboard Hot 100 for the first time with his On The Radar freestyle with Drake, landing at number 80. He's had many more highlights and we can't see him letting up anytime soon. Fast forward to 2024 and he invaded the Billboard Hot 100 twice, once with Little Baby, Band for Band in May, eventually landing at 22, then an incredible 2 weeks later in June, topping that with a collab with Ashake called Wave, landing at number 18. Along with collabs with J. Cole and Ice Spice, he has been feeding the US market and doing an amazing job doing so. You cannot deny the amazing things Central Cee and Ybeez have done. These brothers are not even on a run anymore. This is where they are going to stay because runs end and I don't see this ending anytime soon. All this talk about the UK rap scene and its numbers is something we need to look at as a whole, but seeing the work and the genius behind Central Cee's rise so far has made me think that if the UK scene crashed, he would be the one leading the charge again, because I don't see him feeling like it's too big to go backwards to get back to the top. Large up Central Cee and Ybeez for the barriers they have broken and the message they are sending to the scene and the next generation. Please like, comment if you disagree and subscribe. Thank you.